Edmonton Oilers clinch mistake 3. All right, tonight's going to be the night, Zachary. Could it be possible? The Edmonton Oilers 1 point away from punching their ticket to the NHL playoffs, the big dance. They got a pretty good opponent to do it against tonight in the San Jose Sharks. The Oilers hosting them down at Rogers Place for the third of 4 meetings this season. Remember, Game 82 going down 8:30 p.m. against the San Jose Sharks this upcoming Wednesday. That one's going to be sick. That's why we created the tattoo bet to care all the way till Game 82. But tonight, it's Oilers, Sharks, Sharks, Oilers. Come on, people. As Chance the Rapper once said, let's do that hockey. But hello and welcome to Pregaming with Bordzy, brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant. Pregaming is also a presentation of Bet365. Because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Joined by Zachary Laing this evening, my bullpen call on a Friday night. I believe his text, paraphrasing today, said, there's nothing I'd rather do on a Friday night than pregame with Bordzy. Zachary, this cup's a little full right now. This one, Bordzy, he's at home. It's an at-home edition of pregaming. Might get a little bit after it. It is Friday night. Zachary, how we doing? How we feeling? Friday night vibes.
Bordzy, I'm doing good, buddy. I'm doing good. Yeah, Friday night, we were just talking about it at a pre-show. The Mark Hoppus book arrived the other day, so I'm going to have to learn how to read this weekend. I'm going to dive into that. In the same breath, I got something I'm kind of not looking forward to, and I got to be honest with you, Bordzy. So, I do the DFO DFS report, right? So all season long, Brock and I have been doing like a head-to-head battle, right? We'll do a lineup every day, and we've been doing a running count of who's winning and who's losing. Well, I've lost, and I'm not going to be able to get back into it. So as my punishment, next Friday night, we're doing a live stream. The Toronto Blue Jays and Seattle Mariners play. I'm going to be doing a 999 challenge on stream next Friday night. And I'm kind of excited for it, but I'm kind of not excited for it. I'm a little bit terrified.
Dude, are you going to be doing it from your house, from the studio? Where at? What kind of dealio? And you got a referee?
Not sure yet. Got to work through the logistics of everything, but it's going to be somewhere. I'm kind of thinking from the home base, just to be in the comfort and confines of my own home. But in the same breath, like, it could be pretty fun to do it down at the studio. So we'll see. We're going to think about it and figure out what to do. But yeah, if anybody here is free next Friday night and wants to watch me eat 9 hot dogs and drink 9 beers and 9 innings of baseball, well, I got a spot for y'all.
I mean, I know one guy whose alley that is directly up, and he might be on the screen with you at this moment. Also got to think, that's right up producer Brett's alley as well. 2 things I got out of that. 1, being at home base would be good close proximity to the toilet if that does go wrong. But 2, at the studio, we could involve some of us around there. Also, is next Friday Good Friday? No better way to celebrate the holiday than that. Dude, that could get crazy. I had a buddy this past summer. His punishment for fantasy football last place was to do the 999. However, he had to do it in full hockey gear at Remax Field, and it was like in the dead of July, so it was like 30 degrees out there. I think he got to 7.5 innings, and he just puked everywhere in the stands. It felt so bad for the staff. I'm like, fuck my friend. I'm sorry he's such an idiot. And he's soft because he couldn't finish it. Zachary, I've always wanted to know if I could finish the 999 challenge. So, I mean, it's a punishment for you. For sickos like me, I'm just kind of interested to know if I could push my body to those lengths. Let's put a pin in that, because I could maybe be down also next Friday, Good Friday, once again. But we're here for the Oilers. Let's catch up in the chat, because Chris Knobloch, he's the first comment of the day, and he says, I say this with a heavy heart, Jeff Skinner is in the top 6. That's right, baby. Lance Kane is also in. This one made me laugh. Said, come playoff time and the Oilers flop their monster dongs on the table and all the other teams have to see the 6 pounds of soft that is the Oilers. They will be scared. Fear no one, respect all. Thank you for that image, Lance. That's very Good Friday image. Jeff Skinner. Ha 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 ha. Top 6. I am scoring 3 tonight. Sasky Girl Oil Fin limping into playoffs, giving Flames fans a glimmer. But that's right. If the Oilers tonight get 1 point, or if the Flames lose in any fashion, it's bye to their playoff hopes and chances. Vinny says, ho, 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 Merry Clinchmas, because ho, ho, hope will and never die. The Silver Merlin. Jeff, I have faith in you. See you in about an hour. Sadistic. Happy game day. Time to punch our ticket into the playoffs. Davin says it's doubtful Kane will start game one. I don't know why we're starting so negative in the chat today, Davin, but I don't need any of that. Calvin Pickard says, Merry Clinchmas, number one fan. Nothing will feel better than waving goodbye to Calgary tonight. Got another Merry Clinchmas. And then Matthias Janmark just simply says, what up, Bordzy? What up, Matthias Janmark? Would have been nice if you scored that anytime goal when I had you down for plus 1,400 the other night, but I digress. Zach, before we talk about the Oilers, I don't know about you. I haven't seen you in a couple days, but I have Masters fever so bad right now, dude. It's all I've done since yesterday morning is watch golf, do the show at noon, immediately rip back home so I could watch golf and work from home. And then today, exact same thing. I was out of the office. So granted, during my show at the office today, the entire time. Immediately skirt back home to keep on watching. We did a Masters pool Wednesday on Oilers Nation every day. Me, Ty, Liam, Reese, and Mr. Jay Downton. Reese didn't have to pay into it because he's an intern, but the rest of us did, and then he can get all the money. But Zachary, we're looking good. I got Bryson DeChambeau. So I believe he's currently either second or third place. Rory McIlroy is the biggest roller coaster I've ever seen when it comes to majors and golf in general. Yesterday, he pooped in his pants on the back nine. Today, goes -6 on the day. He's right back in contention as well. But one bet that I did hit, and I believed in him, Max Homa to make the cut. He was on Pardon My Take, and he said, I'm nearing fuck it golf territory here. And when I heard that, I was like, I'm all aboard the Max Homa train. He's been fantastic. Zach, I know you're a big spreadsheet type guy when it comes to the Masters, your daily lineups, everything. Look at that face. Look at that O face you just gave me right there. Zachary, how are the lineups doing? Have you been enjoying the Masters so far?
Loving the first 2 days, man. There's been some great golf. Some of the rounds like earlier today was great to see. The wind got a little crazy this afternoon, to say the least. But yeah, we're looking good right now. I've got some lineups in contention. Not enough 6x6s, so 6 of 6 guys to make the cut that I'd like to have. But I've got a couple sneaky Justin Rose plays, and he has been lights out so far this tournament. So if he can continue to chug along, if Scotty can pick it up, I'd really like to see that as well. The one heartbreaker for me, though, was Sepp Straka today. Did you see what happened to him on 18?
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Goes out of bounds and triple bogeys 18 to miss the cut. That was an absolute heartbreaker for me today. Got to feel bad for that guy. And I don't think enough people are talking about Nick Dunlap's 90 that he shot on day one and the fact that he went 1 under today. Remarkable stuff at the Masters so far. I am fired up for the rest of this weekend.
Dude, yesterday, once again, I wasn't watching Nick Dunlap, but I'm going through the leaderboards and you're scrolling all the way. I was scrolling to see where Mike Weir was. Shout out to the Canadian great. He always gets to see the Masters, of course. Champion dinner for him as well. But dude, I looked down and I was like, Dunlap, what happened to that guy? And then today, yeah, solid round for him. He definitely did not make the cut. He had the worst round or the worst score out of anybody, I should say. I'm sorry for the golf talk, everybody, but Zach and I haven't seen each other in a couple days. We need to geek out. We need to nerd out. Dude, you're doing a 999 challenge and you got some daily lineups going as well. Let's go, Bryson. Let's go, Max Homa. And I tell you, Scotty Scheffler, in my humble opinion, the guy's ruining golf. He's just too good. He's too boring. It's like Max Verstappen I said about F1 a couple of years back. It's not fun anymore. Everybody's just fighting for second place. Scotty, he's just really, really good at golf. What can you say? That's enough golf talk. Let's switch gears now to the Edmonton Oilers. Because Zachary, as I said to start the show, it is Clinchmas for the Edmonton Oilers. Clinchmas part 3, I guess I will say for this one because I've said it 2 games in a row now. But this one feels very attainable for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. Still going to knock on wood because I'm nervous. So with 1 single point against the lowly San Jose Sharks, the Edmonton Oilers would book their ticket to the NHL playoffs, or even if they don't do that, the Calgary Flames lose in any fashion to the Minnesota Wild. Well, the Edmonton Oilers would be in. The Oilers, they're going to have their puck drop 30 minutes before the Flames and the Wild do their game, going down at 8 p.m. If the Oilers were to do it tonight, Zachary, it would be the 6th consecutive season they have now made the NHL playoffs. It has felt like a foregone conclusion all year. I will be honest, had a moment today and I was like, It's quite shocking that we're at this point in the season and the Oilers have yet to actually clinch, because never at any point, it's been a roller coaster. It's been up and down this year, but never really at any point did we actually legitimately feel like the Oilers were going to miss the NHL playoffs. Hey, there's still the dream technically for home ice advantage in round one, even though I have given up that dream a week ago when they lost to the LA Kings on Saturday. I said, all right, pack it in, baby. We're going to have to win on the road in LA. Zachary, we're so close here to the NHL playoffs, just a couple games to go. But it's clinchmas for the Oilers. You were here through the decade of darkness, okay? You've seen this before. You never take clinchmas for granted. Am I right?
You never take clinchmas for granted. It's a great day, to say the least. It's always an exciting day, kind of a stressful day too. Like it is the San Jose Sharks, but like it's still kind of stressful, because you're not in the dance until you got a dance partner, right? So the Edmonton Oilers, they can secure their spot tonight. I wrote a little article earlier today, and it's actually kind of something that's really interesting. If/when the Edmonton Oilers clinch their spot into the playoffs here, it's actually going to be the second longest streak of consecutive playoffs made in franchise history. Of course, from 79, 80 until what was it, like 90, 92, 93, something like that. The Oilers made the playoffs like 13 years in a row. And then the previous streak, which was also 5 years, came between 1996 and 1997, and 2000, 2001, 5 consecutive years. So kind of an interesting way to look at this one here. Really important game for the team. They're going to come out fired up. That it's a big game. They got to secure these 2 points here. And having Connor McDavid back feels pretty good. It was pretty easy to forget just how good he was, when he wasn't in the Edmonton Oilers lineup for those couple of weeks. Because, boy, what a performance from him against the St. Louis Blues, right? So really excited to see what this team can do out there tonight. And I kind of like the fact that they kept Jeff Skinner and Connor Brown up there with them.
That's a trio that has been very good. We'll talk about that a little bit later and what that could mean for game one of the NHL playoff lineup. It was a giant question today on Oilers Nation Every Day. You also mentioned about McDavid, dude. The thing you just take for granted, like the Oilers power play technically without Connor and Leon had actually been treading water pretty good numbers wise. Now, if you watched, sometimes you just want to beat your head against the wall because you're like, holy shit, find a way to get the puck into the zone. And it's insane to me. You get 97 back, and he just makes it look so easy, gaining the zone specifically on the power play. He could just have a traffic jam along the blue line, throw it back 50 feet to 97, and he's just going to dipsy doodle, find his way in there, set up, bank it off the boards back to Bouchard, and you're set up. Connor McDavid, boy, oh boy, did I miss you. We're also missing Veronica Horsethief in the chat right now because she has yet to tell me that she loves Connor McDavid, and Connor McDavid is her favorite player. You mentioned McDavid back and being healthy. Well, hallelujah, Zachary. We're getting finally some positive injury news regarding the Edmonton Oilers. Actually, did get some negative news regarding Trent Frederick, I will say, but we're going to focus on the positive. We're glass half full guys here, as the Oilers technically will have 2 additions back into their lineup tonight. Only one of them is going to play, but it's huge nonetheless. Mattias Ekholm, the Viking, will make his return to the Edmonton Oilers lineup after missing the last 7 games. And Stu, I haven't said that in a while, Stuart Skinner will be back in the lineup. Now, he's not expected to start in this game. He's going to be the backup goaltender, 2-1 Calvin Pickard, but it's a sight for sore eyes. Hasn't played since March 26th against Dallas. That's actually the same for Mattias Ekholm as well. And start here with Ekholm, because as the NHL playoffs loom for the Edmonton Oilers, you got to have the feeling, as you see it here, he's missed 7 games after playing 22-52 against the Dallas Stars. Happy to have the Viking back. Nobby, though, once again, this might change, so this is all just reported. This is why you pregame with Bordzy, so we let you know as we know in real time. Today, looking earlier that Mattias Ekholm might be playing on the 3rd pairing with Ty Emerson, which would indicate to me from Chris Knobloch that he's kind of opting to ease Mattias Ekholm back in the lineup. Now, once again, depth charts, Chris Knobloch, they're just recommendations. I could totally see him being up on the first pair. Who knows? But Ekholm, sight for sore eyes. The Oilers' back end, their whole team has been banged up, but the back end specifically, Jake Woolman tonight is going to miss his 2nd consecutive game. John Klingberg was retroactively placed on LTIR. While Matthias Ekholm, we know he's battled injury, illness, he's battled issues all season long. That's a nice way that I will put it. He's actually missed 13 of the Oilers' last 17 games. He's just missed the last 7 of them in a row. Zach, though, you look at that depth chart when it's supposed to be fully healthy for the Edmonton Oilers, it looks pretty good. One of the best in the NHL playoffs. You might even be able to argue. Step 1 is the Ekholm return. Step 2 is staying healthy, in my opinion, for these final 4 games of the season. According to Jason Gregor, he said that Ekholm is likely to play in 3 of the Oilers' next 4 games. He's been skating for over a week, so he's trying to dip his toes in the water here. Zach, tonight for me with Ekholm, I wouldn't expect him to play 20 plus minutes a night in this game. I'm expecting him to be gradually worked in. And once again, we saw in the Oilers' last game, Bouchard, Kulak, and Darnell Nurse all play 28 plus minutes in those hockey games. My goals tonight, curious your expectations, goals for Ekholm. Mine tonight is hopefully he looks good. He does not get hurt, and I do not see him go down that tunnel at any point. Other than that, I'm just happy he'll be in the hockey game. Zachary, the Viking is back.
Yeah. Oh man. Kind of like with Connor McDavid, it's pretty exciting to get Ekholm back in the lineup. This blue line looks quite a bit different when he's not out there. I think there's an easy argument to make that he is the Oilers' best defenseman all around when it comes to what he can do offensively and moving the puck, defensively, breaking up the cycle. He's just such an important player to this blue line. And yeah, man, like once this blue line really gets fully healthy, like I'd put it up there with any other blue line in the NHL. Like when they are fully healthy and firing on all cylinders, they are really, really good. And we haven't really had a whole lot of that, like it's felt like ever since Jake Wallman came in, it's kind of been one guy in, one guy out, somebody's hurt, somebody's banged up, somebody can't go. There's been a couple of games I think that were in there where, you got a full look at the top 6 that'll likely be for the playoffs. And yeah, it's exciting, man. It's great to have that Ekholm back in the lineup. I'm curious to see what happens here too tonight because Jason Gregor in the GDB today was kind of writing that he's expecting some shuffling of the defensive pairings out there and maybe limit some of Ekholm's minutes. I think that's probably a good thing, but I also will say I would not be shocked whatsoever if he was just instantly vaulted back up to the top pairing alongside Evan Bouchard and played the entirety of the game there. So we'll be curious to see what happens. We'll have lines coming out in about 20 minutes or so here. So we'll have to stay tuned and see what the Oilers got cooking up here.
He's either going to dip his toes in the shallow end gradually. He's going to tape a cinder block to him and throw him in the deep end and say, there you go, figure it out, Ekholm. We're back. Once again, either way, just please stay healthy. One, Matthias Ekholm. And people, we did get some good news in here because Veronica's in and she says, I love Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid is the best. I can breathe again. I can feel calm again. Shout out Veronica. One of the most loyal viewers I got now here in Pregaming and Oilers Nation After Dark. Shout out to her. Actually, we also did get a couple super chats in the meantime. So here, I'll do those now. Reminder, your super chats, but you already know this. They're all in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, a cause that does incredible things for families in need, families dealing with family members that have that horrible cancer disease. Tammy's in, my queen, $10, feeling like some shark fin soup for dinner. Nom, 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 nom. I added that one on there, stick taps. And a couple of these for Ben, always orange and blue cup, yeah. Then Mick High and Dry is in, $13.99. Not free for After Dark, so Bordzy Bars Part 4. He's been giving me bars every game. San Jose are in last, a stark contrast from Big Joe's Sharks from the past. Need our boys in a cast to get well soon, very fast, to end the clenchmas of my ass. Cup, yeah.
Cup, yeah.
I got to say, Mackay and Dry, they're getting better and better. That's part 4. I'd like to see where we are. Hopefully after a long run in the NHL playoffs. Shout out to you. That's an early comment of the day. Shout out. Stuart Skinner, though, I did mention there, Zach. It's also good news. He's not going to be playing in this hockey game, but once again, a sight for sore eyes. Also get a nice glimpse at that flowing mustache on the side of the bench. So that's always welcomed for me. Calvin Pickard expected to get the start. But Stu, right, we all remember it. He got kneed in the head by one Mikko Rantanen. It was a concussion. neck injury, I believe is what the wording has been used so far. And it's been reported that the plan is to play Stuart Skinner 2 of the final 3 regular season games. This is the 4th final one. Once again, we've got Winnipeg on Sunday, LA on Monday. So they're going to have to split that one no matter what. And then expecting Stuart Skinner is going to finish out the regular season, I would expect, against the San Jose Sharks. They then say they're going to go from there. The game 1 starter, Zach, it's a huge question in oil country right now because Calvin Pickard has been awesome, solid, whatever word you want to use, since becoming the Oilers' de facto starter. He's 6-2-0 in his last 8 starts. He's above 900 save percentage. But once again, we all know Stuart Skinner, he's kind of got the inside track here. He is the franchise goalie. He is the guy that had, a 909 in 7 games in the Stanley Cup Finals last season. But for me, I'm a what have you done for me lately kind of guy, and I got some recency bias here. It's kind of leaning towards Calvin Pickard. Nobby had a quote today, and I'll read it to you. Here it is. We are going to play the goalie that's playing the best and giving us the best opportunity to win that night. Zach, I'll take nothing burger sentences for $1,000 because it doesn't really, I say no shit, Nobby. Thank you very much. And we know he's very good with his wording. Stu's going to get 2 of these last 3 games. Zach, where are you at right now with the Oilers game 1 starter for the NHL playoffs? Because Pickard has done nothing to lose it. He's done a sizable amount to grab that job. Stuart Skinner, we believe in the guy, but once again, a concussion, a head injury, these ones are always tough to come back from an injury. And once again, forgive my language, there's no time to fuck around for the Edmonton Oilers when it is game 1 of the NHL playoffs. Zachary, which way are you leaning right now? Picks or Stu for game 1?
Boy, it's been racking around in my brain for a while here, but I think I've actually just sitting here in the last moment come up with my answer. I think I got to go with Stuart Skinner here. And there's a very specific reason why. Calvin Pickard, no doubt about it. He has held the fort down, 4-2 in the 6 starts that he's had since Skinner went down with injury. The thing for me is that Stuart Skinner is the guy in Edmonton, right? He is the guy. He is the guy who got the start last year in the playoffs against the LA Kings, against the Vancouver Canucks, against the Dallas Stars. They rode him all the way through the Western Conference Finals, all the way into Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. He knows how to play in the playoffs, right? And I think for another reason, too, doesn't it feel like it might be a little bit easier to go from Stuart Skinner to Calvin Pickard if you have to in the playoffs and then go back to Skinner like last year than it would be to go from Calvin Pickard to Stuart Skinner? That's kind of the big thing for me here, right? Like I think you got to go with Stuart Skinner because of that. Got to see what he can do in these last couple of games, of course. My guess is that he would start Winnipeg and San Jose next week. That's kind of what my guess would be here. I think Pickard is due for another game off here pretty soon. Obviously, that's, the next game after tonight is Sunday night. And then, you give Pickard the start against the LA Kings and see what he can do there. So, but I think you can make an argument either way. I really think you can do. But I think at the end of the day, for me, man, I think you got to roll with Skinner in game 1.
I know in my heart and in my gut, I want to go with Stuart Skinner because, as you said, he's the franchise guy for all those reasons you mentioned. He's also gets paid considerably more money than one Calvin Pickard. He's younger. You want to build off it, and he's going to be the guy of the future. On the other end, it's just a what have you done for me lately? For me, if it was, Pat, if you want to pull up the schedule here for the rest of the season for the Oilers, once again, only 4 games remaining, including tonight. But so it's Winnipeg on Sunday, the LA Kings on Monday. For me, I think I'm throwing Stuart Skinner straight into the fire Monday against the LA Kings. And I'm saying here, this is your prove it game, man. This is the opponent in game 1 of the NHL playoffs. So you can kind of get a little bit of a trial run here, I could say, because once again, home ice advantage still could be up for grabs between the Oilers and the LA Kings. You give him one night off, then he goes back again, hopefully against the San Jose Sharks, because that will be the type of schedule he'll be doing when he's playing in the NHL playoffs. Keep letting me know in the chat what you guys kind of think. Davin said Stu will probably get the Kings next week. Stu versus LA for sure. Yeah, I don't know, but as Lance puts, in Stu we trust. In Nobby we trust. So if he trusts Stu, therefore I'm in on it. And if he picks, then I'm also in on that one as well. We did kind of touch on it. Connor McDavid, he returned. from injury on Wednesday night, and it was straight up the Connor McDavid show. The man did not skip a beat whatsoever. He was out with a lower body injury. It's electric all over the place, had 3 assists. He was Connor McBack on Wednesday. We get Matthias Ekbak tonight as well. Stuart Skinner, once again, I just mentioned he's expected to play over the weekend. We got a lot of injury updates as well, Pat. We do have a tweet in here. I think it's from Tony Brar that kind of just breaks it all down, but everything injury-wise seems to be like it's trending upwards besides Trent Frederick is really the point that I can make here. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, there it is. So the Edmonton notes, Ekholm's going to return tonight. Wallman, Jake, return likely in the back-to-back Sunday or Monday, so either one of those games. The hope is that Leon Draisaitl will get a couple of games in before the playoffs. That one I wouldn't hold my breath about, but we know Leon. He's a competitor. Either way, game 1, I do not doubt him. Skinner, Stewart, that is expected to get 2 starts before the playoffs. We touched on that. And there's one there that they just kind of sneak in at the bottom. Trent Frederick could return game 1 or 2 of the NHL playoffs. No timeline on Evander Kane, but he is close. I'm not expecting any conditioning stints or anything to the AHL for Evander Kane. But Zachary, that Trent Frederick one, I keep saying it's the phrase I keep using, but it's a real kick in the dick, brother, because that trade just has not worked out the way the Edmonton Oilers would have liked. Giving up a fair amount of capital, you get double retention as well. It's a high ankle sprain. These injuries linger. They all over the place. I always hate them. I always quote them. But LeBron says sometimes you'd rather just break a bone than have a high ankle sprain because these things are so unpredictable and how they flare up and everything. Oilers are hurt right now with all those things, but they are trending a little bit upwards. As for the actual hockey game tonight, the opponent they're taking on, Zach, San Jose Sharks, they're also going through some injury problems right now. So they just lost their number 1 D-man in Mario Ferraro. He broke his ankle in the San Jose Sharks last game. Vincent Desharnais, he has been out for a number of games. I forget. It's either been like 8 or 9 games, something like that. Let me try and get this right. Shakir Mukhamadullin is also hurt. The Sharks are just incredibly banged up. I think I nailed that one. But the Sharks, injury-wise, they're banged up. This team has already had their tee times booked for what feels like months now at this point. And in the last game they played, they allowed 8 goals against when they took on the Minnesota Wild. Edmonton's playing for a playoff berth. They're playing their way back into health. Something here, Zachary, tells me this could be a get-right performance for the Oilers. You'll see Bordzy's bankroll later. I'm kind of banking on that one as well, but thoughts on tonight. Oilers injuries trending upwards, Sharks injuries, and just everything about the team kind of trending downwards as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a tough go this year for the San Jose Sharks, no doubt. The vibes have been impeccable. You got to give them credit for that. The vibes have been tremendous in San Jose this year. Kind of hate to say it, but I think they're going to be a dangerous team in the very near future here. Yeah, okay, they gave up 8 goals against the Minnesota Wild on Wednesday. They also scored 7, Bordzy. Even with all of the injuries and everything going on, this is a team that has some offensive punch to them, right? So the Oilers, kind of like we talked about last week, cannot take this team lightly. They got to go in there and put the pedal down. 3-2 win for the Edmonton Oilers last week. They're going to need to score a couple of more goals, it feels like, here tonight, right? You got to really try and put these Sharks away here right now. Georgi Romanov is going to be getting the start again for the San Jose Sharks. He looked pretty good last week, all things considering. But yeah, it's going to be an important one here for the Oilers for sure. Curious to see what's going to happen out there tonight, man. I mean, McDavid back is a huge boost for the team. Connor has absolutely demolished the San Jose Sharks in his career. 31 games played, 17 goals, and 45 points. He's averaging a 1.5 per game. Pretty good. Evan Bouchard, lots of success too. 3 goals, 17 points in 13 games. Victor Arvidsson, a guy who's played the Sharks a lot. He's a point per game against them too, with 12 goals in 18 games. So for the Oilers, these are the guys that are going to really need to help get the pedal to the metal early on in this one tonight.
Let's go Oilers. Also, I see Kennedy's dad is in. He says, Mr. Pickard for MVP. What up, Kennedy's dad? Also, excellent profile picture photo there as well. Throw down your courtesy like. Let's go now to our need to know information. Courtesy of Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that Wilhauk name. Made from 100% Alberta beef, their jerky is aged, seasoned, smoked, and marinated to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. For more information and to get your jerky on, head to WillHawkBeefJerky.com. So obviously, we've covered it. Clinch was for the Edmonton Oilers. They need 1 point or a Calgary Flames loss in any fashion. The Oilers heading into this one, 7 points up on the Calgary Flames, each with 7 games remaining. It's a near guarantee. Edmonton's playing LA in round 1. We all know this for the 4th year in a row. Home ice still technically up for grabs. LA 4 points up on the Edmonton Oilers. Both teams have 4 games remaining. But remember, they play head-to-head on Monday, so the dream not totally dead. Once again, do not hold your breath. We've just covered all the injury news for the Oilers. In English terms, there's no Leon, there's no Nuge. Ekholm's back, Stuart Skinner's back. He's not going to be starting in this game. Jake Wallman not going to be in. John Klingberg on the LTIR, and Trent Frederick. Who knows when we'll see it in an Edmonton Oilers jersey. The Oilers, they own the San Jose Sharks as well. It's just an insane stretch that they've been on since 2021, 2022 until now. The Oilers are 12-1 against the San Jose Sharks. Zach, do you remember what that one loss was?
Yeah, tough for our old friend Jay Woodcroft.
Just pour one out here for my pal Jay Woody. This season, though, the Oilers, while 2-0, it has been a little close for comfort. Both games have been 3-2 dubs for the Oil. They won in overtime 3-2 back on December 21st. And then obviously, I believe it was 8 days ago, the Oilers defeated the Sharks 3-2. Calvin Pickard, he's getting the start in this hockey game. 6-2-0 in his last 8, 21-9-1 record on the season. Damn, that looks good for Calvin Pickard, the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy nominee from the Edmonton Oilers, because he perseveres. He's got great sportsmanship, and he's just a beauty in the room from everything that I have been told. The San Jose Sharks, their side I need to know, they are well on their way to having their second consecutive season being the worst team in the NHL. Congratulations, 20, 47, and 11 on the season. 5 points back of second last place Chicago Blackhawks and the San Jose Sharks. The Oilers have made the playoffs if they do it tonight 6 years in a row. Well, the San Jose Sharks have been without playoff hockey for 6 years in a row. The Sharks, right now, mentioned they have their tee times booked. They've lost 7 straight hockey games heading into this one. They have lost to the New York Rangers, the LA Kings, the Anaheim Ducks, the Edmonton Oilers, the Calgary Flames, the Seattle Kraken, and then most notably that 8-7 loss in overtime to the Minnesota Wild in their last one. In that game, a little bit of everything. Like you said, great vibes around the San Jose Sharks. They are an entertaining as shit hockey team. Will Smith tied the game with under a minute to go. Macklin Celebrini had a hat trick. The two kids combined for 9 points in that hockey game. And the Sharks still lost. Sound familiar to the Edmonton Oilers of yesteryear? Because it does to me. Celebrini leads the team in points. 62 points in 66 games. Not too shabby for an 18-year-old, if you ask me, Zachary. Tyler Toffoli leads the team in goals with 29. Former 7th overall pick William Eklund. That dude is sneaky good. Also notice that the last time the Oilers played the Sharks 8 days ago, 56 points in 73 games played. And then Georgi Romanov is the confirmed starter for the Sharks. 0-4-0 record on the season. 401 goals against average. 873 save percentage. But it'll be the second time in 8 days he's faced the Edmonton Oilers. Tough one, kid. Got a feel for you there. But in that last game against the Oil, he stopped 35 of 38. Had a pretty good performance in there. And don't need to tell you about the Oilers' history with backup goaltenders against lesser teams, because we're all scarred mentally from those things. Let's go. Sherwood Ford Giant storyline brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant. The Giant for a reason. They're down at the Expo Center this weekend for the awesome show going on. Tyler did ONE live from the Expo show. He's also checking out Sherwood Power Sports and Marine bikes around the area. He said if 100 people like the show, he would therefore buy a motorcycle. Shocker, Zach, I don't know if you know, Tyler is a liar because he was never going to do that, but we sure got a lot of likes in the chat earlier today. Smooth played. Yeah, that's classic Tyler Remchuk, right? Like, come on, brother, come on. For me, my storyline, Does it get any? It's clinchmas, brother. Just find a way to get a point, and then you can severely prioritize health down the stretch here with 3 games remaining after this one. It's as simple as that. Find a way to get that point. This game, it's the San Jose Sharks. We've sat here a lot. Everything, I mean, it doesn't really happen that a lot here anymore, but you can say jinx all you want. It's a pregame show. All we're ever going to do is have semi jinxes like that, or we'd be totally right. And Bordzy's bankroll goes 3 for 3. But dude, it's the San Jose Sharks here. We're at game 79 of the season, I believe is how the math would work there. This one's actually be over after 40 minutes. I said the joke today, ONE, would love for you and me to be able to start the post-game show during the third period on a Friday night. Watch the game together, maybe stream it together, have a couple drinky poos together. Randinator, that'd be pretty good. And then my key to victory, like area to attack, I'd say literally anywhere. So the Sharks, they're 32nd in goals allowed, 31st in shots allowed, 28th on the PK. They're 30th in goals, 26th in shots on goal, 23rd on the power play. Like, it's just none of that is good. Pick any area you want. That should be your key to victory. Obviously, with 97 back, you can see the Oilers power play doing some good things out there. Zachary, you got a storyline? You got a key to victory for me?
It's kind of the same as yours, man. Just win, baby. And of course, knock on wood here, stay healthy. That's pretty important too. So just got to find a way to get a point here against the Sharks. Get this thing clinched up. Enough sweating, enough waiting. Let's make it happen. When I wrote about it earlier today, I kind of said like it kind of sucks in a way that it's taking so long to kind of get there. But it's kind of been a bit of a slog for this team, really, this entire 2025 calendar year. They kind of weren't that great heading into the Four Nations. They come out of it super flat, and then the injury bug just hits. And it's been pretty tough sledding for this team. They haven't seen Trent Frederick yet, beyond one game against the LA Kings. That's a pretty tough pill to swallow there, considering what the Oilers, gave up to make that deal happen. We still don't know what's up with Evander Kane. It all feels really ominous around all of these injuries and stuff like that. And I think the last thing that anybody wants right now is any more injuries to have to deal with. So, find a way to get the point. Just stay healthy here. And you know what? I would love to see some more of these depth guys continue to put the puck in the net. Give me a Noah Philp goal tonight. Give me a Max Jones goal tonight. Give me a greasy one from one of these guys. Things like that can really help kind of build up the vibes and, build some confidence for some of these guys heading towards the playoffs.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't say Matthias Janmark there because even dreams like that of him scoring a goal with a stick just do not seem possible. Hopefully, I'm reverse jinxing that one, and therefore the janitor, Matthias Janmark will pop a Gino home. We did just get some confirmed lines courtesy of our friend Tony Barr. So, Pat, if you got him here, pull him up for me because the Oilers' top line includes Jeffrey Scotty Skinner with Connor McDavid and Connor Brown. The second line, Victor Arvidsson with Adam Henrique and Zach Hyman. Your third line, Vasily Podkolzin with Matthias Janmark and Corey Perry. Your fourth line, Max Jones, Noah Philp, and Kasperi Kapanen. And your deep pairings, Ekholm with Bouchard, Darnell Nurse with Troy Stetcher, Brett Kulak with Ty Emberson. Zach, the more things change, the more they stay the same. So we can expect Ekholm to be probably back to his usual workload, looking for maybe 20 plus minutes in this one, which, hey, it's a good litmus test. Find out how his body will respond after this one. And then there's a back-to-back Sunday, Monday. I don't know if Ekholm's plan is to play in both of those games, but either way, got to get him up to that playoff workload. But Zachary, you look at that top line for the Edmonton Oilers. Jeff Skinner, Connor McDavid, and Connor Brown. It was our giant question courtesy of Sherwood Ford earlier on Oilers Nation Every Day, and it's my giant question to you right now. Could you see Jeff Skinner on the top line of the Edmonton Oilers for game one of the NHL playoffs? That's a statement that would have been batshit insane to even a question to pose a couple months ago. Nuts. But right now, that does seem, I don't know, not totally unreasonable, right? Because Jeff Skinner has kind of not completely remodeled his game, but he has tinkered with it all season long to be more defensively conscious, but you never really lose the offensive skill that he's had. He now appears to have the trust of Chris Knobloch, regardless of what Chris Knobloch in the chat will tell you. You've seen his time on ice slowly increase here as we come down the stretch run of the NHL season. Jeff Skinner is up to 16 goals on the season, and he's playing, I'll say, passable defense in his own end right. And the thing here with that choice, normally you would expect, hey, you're going to go 93, 97, and 18 Zach Hyman. I still want Zach Hyman on 97's wing, but Zach, we've seen a point this year where 93, playing as the Oilers 3C, regardless of who is on his wing, has been very productive. And whatever you needed from him, you need some offense to be chipped in. Sure, you need him to play defensively conscious, defensively responsible. Well, he can do that one as well. And then if you argued 97, 29, 93, 19, that might be the sickest spine of any team left in the NHL playoffs. Then the point I made on ONE today is that always in the playoffs, scoring goals is hard. Goaltenders get hot. Teams are laying in front of everything, and you can never really put a price on being able to score goals, and that's exactly what Jeff Skinner has made a career of doing. Also got to think he'd be pretty motivated. He's never played in a playoff game before in his career. My ideal, I think now, scenario would be in that top line. Jeff Skinner, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman. Connor Brown, I love you. This what we got going on right now has a shelf life. I think this will end. But Zach, thoughts, or do you think I'm taking crazy pills that this will never happen? But could Jeff Skinner start game one with Connor McDavid?
I could see it, and I gotta be honest, I wouldn't be opposed to it whatsoever. These guys played together early on in the season, and the numbers were horrific. The Oilers got heavily outscored by the opposition when these guys were on the ice together, and it's kind of what led to Jeff Skinner landing in the doghouse. But over the last little while, man, they've been really, really good together out there on the ice. So over like the last 20 team games for the Edmonton Oilers, they played about 51 minutes together at 5-on-5. They've outscored the opposition 5-1 in those minutes, controlling 61% of the shot attempt share, 60% of the scoring chances, 62% of the high danger chances, and a whopping 66% of the expected goal share. They have been absolutely tremendous when they've been on the ice together. So I think there's more than enough reason to think that these guys could stick together heading into the playoffs, and I would be a fan of it, man. I think the one big thing I think is you need a bigger guy on that right wing, somebody who can play a little bit more greasy, grindy kind of a game. Somebody maybe by the name of Zach Hyman. I think it'd be a perfect fit up there on that wing once everybody kind of gets rolling here. The one caveat, I think, just with Skinner up there on that top line, it's kind of going to depend on the status of some of the other wingers. Where's a guy like Evander Kane at health-wise? Where's Trent Frederick, and that sort of a thing. But to be honest with you, Trent Frederick, when they're fully healthy, I love the idea of going with the spine look, right? McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins centering all of their own lines. You need depth in the playoffs, and you need to be able to shuffle lines. And earlier this year, or a couple of weeks ago, we saw that third line of Nugent Hopkins, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson look really good together out there on the ice. I think with Arvidsson building some more confidence in his own game right now, I think that could be a really good third line for the Oilers in the playoffs.
I gotta be honest here. I gotta pull back the curtain. It makes me laugh so much about how much, and this includes me as well, throughout the year complained about the line blender, because now that we're here at game 79 of the season, I'm like, everybody's played with everybody. Everybody could do everything together. The options are endless. No, but you're such a genius. I love you so much. So once again, remind me of that next season when we're in game like 30, 40, and I go, Bordzy, take a chill pill here, because once again, end of the year, who knows, man, could be a blessing in disguise. Let's go now. Starting goaltender report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. Spring is sprung, people, or it's springing right now, I should say. Fuck, I should also knock on wood. That's why would I say something like that. It's beautiful out right now. The Masters is on. It's sunny out. We just said before, I was talking to Pat, it feels so weird doing this show and there's still daylight out right now on a Friday. Just want to be out in the patio drinking some beers, or, hey, get out on a boat. Get your boat primed up. Go check them out. They're selling boats. They're also servicing boats. So if you want to get prepared for the summer season, hey, why don't you book ahead now with Sherwood Power Sports Marine? They can service whatever you need. Get it done. I always say May long weekend. That's the start of summer. So you want your boat, you want your ATV, you want dirt bikes, whatever. You want them all to be properly serviced and ready to go. Patrick Puff, pull it up for me. The tail of the tape between these two goaltenders. Calvin Pickard, 21-9-1 record, 265 goals against, 901 save percentage against Georgy Romanov, who was 0-4-0 with a 402 goals against average, 873 save percentage. We kind of already talked about it here, Zach, about how you think the Oilers should align their goaltenders here for the rest of this season. Calvin Pickard, I just feel like no matter what, whatever situations he's in, I like your point that you made about it's so much easier to go to Calvin Pickard. You start with Stuart Skinner and go to Calvin Pickard than it is to go from Picks to Stu, because, and we know this about Stu, he's a younger goaltender. I think he could be a little bit more, I don't want to use the word fragile, but less seasoned than Calvin Pickard. Calvin Pickard's been through the ups and downs of the NHL. He's been chewed up, spit back out again. That guy can't be rattled. And once again, Picks, he's just been fantastic. On the other side of this, Georgy Romanov, he was sneaky, crazy good in the last game against the Edmonton Oilers. We got Connor McDavid in the lineup. We got Matthias Ekholm back. You got to feel for this kid because, as I mentioned, Zach, he's playing the Oilers twice in 8 days. That's not easy.
No, it's certainly not an easy thing to do. So I think he's going to be in a little tougher here tonight. Didn't get to see Connor McDavid in his first game against the Edmonton Oilers, last week. So I think it might be a little bit of tough sledding for him there. But, he's a young guy. They're trying to see what they got in him. Throw him to the Wolves against some of these good teams out here in the Western Conference. And for Pickard, just have another game where you have above a 900 save percentage and you get the win. 21-9-1 record. He's finding ways to get wins for the Edmonton Oilers this year. It's not always in the prettiest of fashions or anything like that, but he's been pretty solid for the team back there. And sometimes solid is all that you need in the crease, right? So really hoping he can put together another solid performance here. And I'm really fascinated to see the way the goaltending shakes out for these next couple of games.
This could just be an Al Davis tribute show, Zach, because with Calvin Pickard, it's 3 words: just win, baby. That's all he's done all season. 21-9-2. And as I said, the Oilers nominee for the Bill Masterton Memorial Trophy. Shout out him. That is awesome for him. All we ever hear about is how much of a beauty Calvin Pickard is. I see him in the chat every show as well. So even his alter ego here in the chat is a beauty as well. Calvin Pickard, throw some likes in the chat. Down for Calvin Pickard because he is the man. Let's take a peek at the San Jose projected lineup in this one, brought to you by Greta Bar, my favorite spot in the city, where Jeff Skinner just asked, how early do you have to go to Greta to get a spot at a playoff game? Gina then said, don't ask Bordzy. He sleeps there during the playoffs. That's a fair point, Gina. I did talk about I need them to drop the Murphy bed out of the wall in the back so I can move back in to Greta Bar. It's going to be lit during the NHL playoffs, man, Zach. It feels like just yesterday that you and I, unfortunately, we're doing Oilers Nation After Dark after Game 7. That is a memory that I wish I could block, but I don't think I'll ever be able to get rid of it. Either way, though, Zach, we are excited to get back to Greta. Keep it locked on the Oilers Nation socials. We'll let you know when we're going to be there partying. Obviously, we need to get the playoff schedule first, find out who the opponent is, where the games are going to be played, what nights, and then people come on down to the most lit bar in the entire city. You got FOMO during the nation vacation. You don't have to get FOMO during the playoffs. Just simply mosey on down, take a cab, take an Uber, because we're getting in one. And then go enjoy your night out at Greta Bar. Zachary and I, we'll be there. We'll be shutting that place down. Patrick, pull it up for me here, the projected lineup for the San Jose Sharks. Top line, Nikolai Kovalenko with Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith. Second line, William Eklund with Alex Wenberg and Tyler Toffoli. Third line, Carl Grunstrom with Ty Dellandrea and Barclay Goudreau. Fourth line, Noah Gregor. Shout out to the Bloodline. Shout out, come on now. We all love that last name here in the city. Zach Ostapchuk with Cameron Lund. And then look at these deep pairings, Zachary. Lucas Carlson with Timothy Liljegren. Henry Thrun with Jan Ruda. Mark Edward Vlasic with Jack Thompson. So, talent, it's few and far between. That one there kind of looks like a team that you would expect to be in dead last of the NHL standings. But all your eyes go to number 71, the top of that lineup, Macklin Celebrini, because he is a confirmed confirmed stud. As I mentioned, 62 points in 66 games at 18 years of age. He, unfortunately, is not the favorite to win the Calder Trophy at Bet365. Lane Hudson is actually minus 1,200 right now at Bet365. Celebrini is plus 750. And it, weirdly enough, felt like just yesterday that I thought Celebrini had the stranglehold on this one. But the Habs continue to win. Hudson continues to put up points. There you see a look at it there. Dustin Wolf, sorry, brother, not going to happen at plus 10,000. Either way you slice it, Celebrini having a nasty rookie season. He just scored a hat trick in his last game. One thing that it's very weird because it feels like anytime you say Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith just follows you shortly after. Those nasty shootout goals that those two kids scored against the Toronto Maple Leafs 2-3 weeks ago. Puke. It was so nasty. It was so sick. Those kids, like you mentioned, they got a lot of talent. But Zachary, Pat, if you want to just pull the lineup back up again for me. Zach, give me a player to watch. Who you got your eye on here? Who's an exciting young player here on the Sharks tonight?
I think it's pretty easy to just take a look at Macklin Celebrini up there, right? I mean, he's been great so far this season for the San Jose Sharks, and I think he is the guy who will take home the Calder this year. I really do. Like, he's been awesome for this team. He's a good player, man. Like I said, there's really no other way to cut it here. He's going to be a thorn for quite a while, I think.
Yeah, and I'd also be interested, like, again, he's 18 years old, and you get your first off season of training and proper dieting. We always hear about these kids. They don't know what they're eating. Remember seeing the old videos of Eberle and Halsey, and they were like, yeah, we get our chefs Joey, Moxie, and Earl to cook all of our meals all the time. Something tells me Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith, and maybe I am wrong on that one, but once again, you get a whole season, off season of training, proper dieting, and these kids, future's bright. Not excited for that one. I have been enjoying this time frame where the San Jose Sharks are just dog water, dog shit, if you will. Zach, the other thing, you look at their decor, that six-man unit, that's not very good at all. Lucas Carlson and Timothy Liljegren, that's your top pairing. Henry Thrun, Jan Ruda on the second pair. Those are just two NPC names, if I've ever heard that before. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was stunned to find out that Mark-Edward Vlasic is still playing in the NHL. I had no idea that he was still in the league. Shout out to him. He's 38 years old. I looked him up today. Former gold medalist at the 2014 Olympics. He's got 3 points in 23 games played this season. But Zach, point being, you look at this group, especially that third pairing. If Vlasic gets caught out on the ice against 97, say goodnight, San Jose Sharks. But that one, with a healthy Connor McDavid, home ice, last change, something tells me 97's licking his chops right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a great blue line here whatsoever. There's a couple of guys on there that I've kind of been playing a lot in my DraftKings lineups lately. Jack Thompson, he's a guy who's kind of been doing it all. Lots of shots, lots of blocks. Timothy Liljegren, he's had a fine season there. Obviously got traded there, just kind of pretty early on in the season, the former Toronto Maple Leaf. But yeah, man, this is not a very good blue line whatsoever. And they might be in tough tonight against Connor McDavid, to say the least.
Buckle up, buckaroo. Let's go now to Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Breaking news coming in, where every nail-biting overtime win is a barn burner. Every face-off, hat trick, power play, shot on goal, penalty shot, and every suspenseful minute in between is amazing. Whatever the moment, you know it. It's never ordinary. They're an official partner of the NHL. Download the app. Use the promo code NATION to get it in on the game. Must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. All right. Take a peek here, Patrick, because I've got options for you. The second one is two options all rolled into one. Because I don't know, I just had to pull out all the stops in this one against the San Jose Sharks. Your first option, it's Connor McDavid, 2+ points. I think the books, they're also predicting, they've also read the numbers about McDavid because that is only minus 135. Still going to smash it. He recorded 3 assists in his first game back from injury. As you mentioned earlier, Zach, he has 17 goals, 28 assists, 45 points in 31 career games against the San Jose Sharks. That averages over 1.5 points per game, and he's recorded a multi-point game in 5 of his last 8 games against the San Jose Sharks. Connor McDavid, Sharks, don't overthink it. Just put them together. The next one, getting creative here. So I'm saying you got to play these together. That's how you get the plus 165. Edmonton Oilers puck line, which once again, for those of you who are new to betting or don't know, puck line means win by 2. That's what the minus 1.5 always means. Got to win by 2 goals. Always makes empty nets super exhilarating at the end of this one. Oil, they're 2-0 against the Sharks, but they won each game 3-2. I think this is the time the Oilers, they're done messing around. And then finally, I just thought the odds were too good for this one. Jeff Skinner, 3 shots on goal, over 2.5, plus 128. And he's on the top line with 97. So there's my whole reasoning and thought process with that one. He had 3 shots on goal in his last meeting against San Jose, but he hasn't hit this line in 3 straight games. It's all belief. It's a cubes play, as Brett Holden would say. You grab him, you believe in him, it's in the gut. But I think Jeff Skinner is going to be looking to rip the puck in this one. If you're on the ice with 97 in this one, I like your chances. And as I've always said, Jeff Skinner never met a shot he did not like. Zachary, which of these 3 bets do you like the most? And is there anything you got cooked up on Bet365 tonight?
It's pretty easy picking one of these for me, man. Connor McDavid, 2+ points. That's a pretty nice number right there. And I was actually just taking a look at it, Bordzy. You got a good number on this one because this line's moved a little bit up to minus 140 already here tonight. So yeah, I think that's the one for me that I like the best. Nothing on the 365 streets for me tonight. Just kind of taking the night off here. Going to enjoy this one. But I always got some other kind of gambling action on the go. So we'll check back in later tonight and see how we both fared on this evening.
Yep. Bet365. I love you. You guys are just the best. Looking for point night here for the Edmonton Oilers, right? I'm just looking. Just give me a shellacking. Like I said, after 40 minutes, let's wrap this thing up. Let's do Oilersnation After Dark. Bing, bada bang, bada boom. The other thing with Connor McDavid, he needs 7 points over the final 4 games to reach 100 points this season. It would be the 8th time in his career, and this stat kind of blew me away that if he does it, there's only 3 other players that have reached that feat. 8 100-point seasons. Gretzky, Lemieux, Marcel Dion. Could be Connor McDavid added to that list. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty insane as well. Wayne Gretzky, thank you for asking. 15 100-point seasons in his NHL career. Connor, you still got a little bit to go. Before I ask you for your score prediction and your anytime goal scorer, Zach, I do want to give a shout out to 2 things. 1, Odd Company Nation Beer Everyday Lager, perfect for game day, perfect for every day of the week. Pick them up. 2 Odd Company locations in the Edmonton area, or just simply check liquorconnect.com. Shout out to them because they are fantastic. And then the other one, Zach, I know him. I know that you know him. I know that you love him. But it was Oodle Noodle's 20th birthday yesterday. So big shout out to them, our fearless leader, Jay Downton. I also ordered Oodle Noodle last night because, again, I order Oodle Noodle a lot, but it felt like just yesterday was a day, one of those you had to do it. Shout out to them. I got a Oodle Noodle 20-year birthday t-shirt. Maybe I'll rock that on the post-game show as well. But we love them. If you don't feel like cooking tonight, download their app. Sign up for the app. Get 1,500 customer loyalty rewards points, which is $15 in value. And therefore, bang, right there, Tokyo Glaze on the house. Oodle Noodle's gift to you. Okay, Zachary, final one. Score prediction, anytime goal scorer. What is it?
6-1 win for the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid with 2 goals tonight.
6-1 win. That would be an Oilers puck line. That would be over 6.5 total goals. We like that for Bordzy's bankroll. I'm going to say 5-2 for the Edmonton Oilers. That all those bets will still happen. Calvin Pickard allows 2. Maybe one of them will be a stinker. Macklin Celebrini, he's going to do something sick out there. And the Oilers find a way to win. I'm going to say Jeffrey Scotty Skinner with an anytime goal. I appreciate you, Zach. I appreciate you, Pat. I appreciate every one of you in the chat. Throw down your courtesy like on the way out. I also appreciate all of our sponsors. Sherwood Ford the Giant, Sherwood Power Sports Marine, Greta Bar Egg, Bet365, Willock Beef Jerky, Odd Company, Oodle Noodle. Over and out. Good luck on the Bet365 Battlegrounds. We'll talk right here after the game. And Zach, as I said, I think I'm going to have a couple drinky poos tonight, so feel free to join me. I'll see you on the other side.